I'm joined today by Micah Richards, who's going to build his FPL team with us, and we're going to slap him on a table and see how he comes up against all the biggest names in the industry. So, Micah, how are we doing today? Are you a big FPL player?
I'm fantastic. To be honest, I didn't play it when I was a player. I never, just because it's a bit awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like, but,
picking the opposition.
But like, fantasy football is so good, but also it's so annoying. And I know that because, like, if you've got a captain, say you've got a game Friday night, and your captain gets a yellow card or he gets a red card even, or doesn't score, it just spoils the rest of it. Like my punditry, when I'm doing punditry, I'm going in, and if the 3 o'clock games my captain doesn't score, for 3 hours, I'm moody. I'm moody.
If you ever see Micah grumpy on Sky Sports, he's just sitting there grumpy because Harry Kane, his captain, hasn't scored. But
it's also like the most addictive thing ever. It's like the best. It's the best game ever. I actually prefer head to head as a league.
Oh yeah. Just
because the points is brilliant, but say like you have, I don't know, 3 or 4 bad weeks. It could take you like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months to get back in contention with someone else. Whereas I feel like head to head is very like tactical. Do you know what I mean? Like you might not have the best team, but you're playing against someone who's got similar players, so you can just rejig stuff. But yeah.
I remember head to head a couple of seasons ago, and like it was me and a guy top 2, and coming up to the end of the season, there was like a double game week coming up. It was optimal to save one of the chips or something, and I just popped it to absolutely smash and obliterate the guy in second. And he was heartbroken because he actually thought he had it, you know. And that's the thing. The beauty of head to head is that you can directly target your mates. Do you know what I mean? You can directly target them to beat them. But look,
yes, save all your chips until that day. Yeah, definitely.
So what we're going to do today, Mike, is we're going to build it from the back. We're going to go for the goalkeepers, then work up the pitch. We're going to see who you've picked. We're going to slap it into the My Team tool on Fantasy Football Hub, and we're going to see what your team rating is. And if anyone wants to see what their team rating is, they can for free. They just need to click the link in the description. It'll bring you the hub. Go and get your team rating, drop it in the comments, and we're going to give away some free memberships to people in the comments. So, Micah, who is your starting goalkeeper?
Oof. It was tough, because normally I go for normally 4.5 million, goalkeepers. So if one's playing a tough fixture or whatever, I alternate between the two. But this time I've gone for a starter and someone who's probably not going to play. I just want that consistency throughout the season where I don't have to change. So my goalkeeper this year is Mendy of Chelsea.
If every reveal can be that dramatic, it would be great. It would be amazing. So tell me about Mendy. Chelsea, their defensive record in pre-season hasn't been great. Koulibaly's in, absolutely great signing in my opinion, but they've lost a few defenders. Are you worried he's going to ship more goals this year?
It might ship more goals, but I'm sure he might have to do a little bit more work, which if you get a lot of saves, you're going to get some good bonus points in there as well. That's why I've gone for him. But you can never really take pre-season that serious. I mean, a couple of seasons when we did well within the league when I was a player, pre-season we was awful. In terms of, losing Rudiger was massive for Chelsea. Yeah. It was one of my favourites. But Koulibaly has been one of the best centre-halves in Europe for a while now. So I think it's a good replacement. But I'm interested to see how Mendy does with Koulibaly in front of him.
And who is your sub-keeper? Are they going to be a 4 million?
Yeah, 4 million. Sorry, Ward, obviously, he played so well for Wales. I just think, I don't know, maybe he'll get a few more games. I won't need him, but he might get, one day when you might get a bench boost and he might be starting one week. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, that's it. I think Schmeichel's been linked to Nice, so maybe Ward comes in at the start of the season if they don't replace Schmeichel, if he goes. So he's kind of the 4 million of choice at the minute. So that's the goalkeepers locked in. Mendy there every week for you. A couple of nice fixtures early days. Tottenham will be tough, but who knows? In defence, who is your first pick? It's getting saucy.
It's getting saucy now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it backwards. So I'm going to do No, I'm not going to do it backwards. My first pick.
Give us your most boring pick.
Okay, my most boring pick is 4 million Vestergaard. I mean, at Leicester, I expected a lot more from him. I know he's had a few injuries and stuff like that, but 4 million, if he gets into the side, it might not be that bad. But he's my bench. He's my bench anyway, so he's not part of my. I played 3 at the back.
And our next pick, Nico Williams, £4 million. I mean, no one thought he was gonna play at Liverpool. So obviously his price, and he's a must. He's a must for everybody. He got bought for 16, 17 mil, going to Forest. He loves marauding down that right hand side as well. But what's happening with him? He will come in and out of the team. He's not starting the first game week, but drawing better fixtures and everything, he'll get integrated into the team. So he's a must, but he doesn't start the first game week. I'm going with 3 at the back. Sorry.
So he's starting on the bench, young Nico, of part of your Welsh contingent. 50% Welsh at the minute. Can we keep it up? I don't know.
Yeah, we like the Welsh players. You know what I mean? I played with a couple of the Welsh boys in the Olympics, Ramsey and Joe Allen. So yeah, I've always got a love for the Neil Taylor as well. I love the Welsh boys.
Well, there we go. Let's see if any more pop up. So the next 3 defenders are all going to be starting. Who is your first name on the team sheet, I suppose?
You know what? I've gone a little bit left field with this one. He got bought for big money, but he's only very, very small. Very, very small. But I'm only saying he's small because he's not going to have no aerial threat in corners, this, that, and the other. And that's probably why he's only 4.5 million. You know what I mean?
You're starting with a 4.5er. Okay.
I'm starting with a 4.5. I know it's not great. I thought about Perisic at 5.5 million. I thought about Zinchenko at 5 million. But anyway, you'll see the methods on this later on. But okay. I've gone with Martinez.
Lautaro. Okay.
Yes.
That's a twist. Twist already. Oh, baby. Yeah, people are taking a piss out of him for being a short man, but I mean.
No. He's a good defender. And I'm not saying he's going to shore up the defense, but I've got to have my other 2 in there. So he was the only one really I could get in there.
Yeah. No, I like it. He's a bit different, bit of a different pick, but he's shown what he could do at Ajax. Great passer of the ball, great player of the ball there at the back. Them boys just pinging around for fun in the Netherlands. So come on over to United. Let's hope he has that composure in the ball in the Premiership, and maybe he can score you some points at 4.5.
Maybe. But he's not going to stay there. There's other people. I looked at Spence at Spurs. He was 4.5. as well. I looked at Ben White as well, but I just thought at that range, you can always twist and turn until the value started going up. You could always, the first game, I had to get my big boys in. So he was just, let me have a look at him, basically.
Yeah. I love it. So he's locked in. We have him locked in now. I think we've got the big boys coming. Is that what you're telling me?
The big boys coming. Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a must.
You just can't.
7.5 million. I don't care. He's a must.
He's a must. The second best right back in Premier League history.
After big meets, of course. Yes.
He's good, isn't he? Though he's good.
He's good. Don't say good.
He's quite good. Really good punditry here, isn't it? He's quite good. That guy.
He's the best. He's the best on the game. He takes free kicks, and I think because he scored, I wasn't sure. Shall I go with Trent this year? Shall I? But then when he scored in the Community Shield, it just cemented it. He's on it this season. He's on it. So and then it's for some reason you always get the bonus points as well. Yeah, I know it goes into big stats and all that, but I think the people who were actually giving them points, I think there's a bit of favoritism going around. So you always get bonus. So I'm going with Trent. I
love it. And I've seen him in pre-season wearing this brain thing. Have you seen that much? The wee net on the head?
Yeah.
What is that doing? Do you know what that's doing?
It's basically, it's measuring the decisions he's making, if you know what I mean. So there was a study on this actually, and it's the guys that, with the penalties, and Klopp has got a thing about, that mental strength going into how can you make that little bit of a difference to your opponents? So they have that stuff on their head to see what mind frame they are in and who's cooler under pressure situations, which then determines like who would be cool enough to take a penalty in the pressure moments. So when they won their a couple of their games through penalties, everyone was like, wow. It's two guys started it from Germany, I think it was. It's really, really interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else, go digging, because that is interesting. All right, so Trent's locked in. No surprises there. Who is the next big boy at the back?
Reece James.
Reece James, yeah.
Reece James, the technical ability. Obviously, it picked up little niggles last season, but he can play in all sorts of different positions. He always looks like he's gonna get an assist somehow. I think he's just top notch. I really do, and I think at £6 million, it's I won't say it's a bargain, but it's a lot. It's a lot of. You're getting a lot for your money, I would say.
He's almost in the Trent mold, young English creative right back. Both of them should be absolutely on the score sheet and getting more assists probably all season long. So like those two lads in, but I'll tell you this, Mike, I don't know if you'd be surprised. You've went way more budget in defence than most people. So I'm excited to see what you've got to spend further up the pitch. You're pretty frugal at the back. So
I spend a lot of money at the back. I just feel like defenders were getting a lot of points, especially towards the beginning half of the season last season. I didn't have people in, and I thought, you know what? I want to keep a team that if people stay fit, I don't have to keep tinkering. I'm a tinkerer, I am. And I want to keep a set team.
You want to just okay, I like it. So this will give you some level of stability. All right, let's see how the midfield goes. Who's the first name on the team sheet?
Mo Salah. Mo Salah. Running
down the wing. So Mo Salah locked.
It's locked. Mo Salah has been captain for the past 4 years without rotating, unless he's ridiculous. Best player in the game by far.
Yeah, and it's mad. He's 13 million, but you could argue he's the best value. He's just insane. The consistency there, and according to Hub's ticker tool and the 4 game week prediction of the predicted points, if we take algorithms and all these robots into it, Salah is predicted to score the most points over the first 4 game weeks. That mightn't surprise you. So he's absolutely locked. I don't even think he needs any more justification. Fulham game week 1, he's probably your captain, but time will tell. He is. So who was the second midfielder you had to have?
I've gone with Mason Mount at a cool £8 million. I think like he's sort of, every time I don't have him, he seems to perform. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, it's just one of them people like,
I'm sick of this guy. I'm just sick of him.
Yes, he's more in there because like he's not someone I would 100% want in my team and all that. But every time I don't pick him, he does well for someone else. So he has to go in. And his quality, if you look at Chelsea as a whole, in terms of consistency, he's probably one of their most, or if not their most consistent player. So to have him, and he scores goals, he gets assists. So £8 million is not bad value.
No, I think it's a great shout. You are back in Chelsea by the looks of it. That's your third Chelsea slot filled up, so no more Chelsea players. But okay, bit of a you're fancying Chelsea when a lot of people are sort of worrying for them, but I like it. Who is the third midfielder?
I've gone with Aronson at Leeds. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
From Salzburg, the young Yank.
Yes, the young Yank. The young Yank. He's got, I know it's going to be difficult for him. I know it is. But for the way that Marsh wants to play, that high energy, front foot, he was playing in pre-season the other day. He got some wonderful, wonderful assists at 5.5 million. You know what I mean? He's sort of who I'm going to rotate with Nico Williams. That's the sort of thing I'm going to be looking at. They're going to be rotation sort of system. But that was my one as well. If you go in there early, so I got Rafinha quite early, and no one was really, Rafinha, what's he going to do? Obviously, come for a lot, but he got points and he did well. So that's my wild card this season. I've gone with Aronson.
Well, I have to say, Micah, this team so far, you have enough differentials in there. Martinez, Aronson, a few new arrivals. People are often quite scared to get the new guys into the league because you just never know what you're going to get. But we've seen it in seasons gone by that some guys can come in and absolutely light it up. So hopefully that happens for Aronson and Martinez. You have another... So you're going to go 3 at the back. So you're going for the 3-5-2. So you're going to have 2 more playing mids. Who's the next name on the team sheet?
The next one, it was difficult. This was difficult because I've been chopping and changing, even up to 5 minutes before we jumped on this Zoom, to be honest. I had initially I had Grealish and Bernardo Silva, sort of two 7 millions. But then I seen Bernardo's been linked to Barcelona, and then it's still like Grealish is my favorite, one of my favorite players. But the way that they've got Alvarez is going to play Alvarez, and then Foden come on, it's difficult. So I've gone with Mahrez because I think even when he doesn't start, I have to have a Man City player. Yeah. Even with Mahrez, even when he doesn't start, he can come on and still make a difference. I've been winning games last season. Yeah. Till the 80th minute, Mahrez comes on, or 70th minute, Mahrez comes on, and he gets like 10 points. He just kills my week completely. So I've gone with Mahrez at a cool 8 million quid. And with the 8 million, because of some of the people at that sort of 7 million, 8 million range, if he's not doing it for the first couple of weeks, I can always chop and change, can't I?
I think the beauty as well here is there's 5 subs this season. And with those 5 subs, Pep Roulette and the Mahrez being benched here and coming in and whatever else, I almost think most of that City attack will get minutes most game weeks. Do you know? I would be shocked if Mahrez didn't get minutes of a game week, whereas in maybe seasons gone by, it was someone else's turn and occasionally he just wouldn't play. But Mahrez can do the damage in 20, 30 minutes that maybe a lower table guy for 8 million could do in 90. So I like it. I like it. So with one more guy who's going to be playing in the starting 11 in midfield, who is it?
Initially, it was James Ward-Prowse. And I know people are like, he's at Southampton and he's not, he's not feeding great strikers and all that. But towards the second part of the season, for me, he was amazing for me. He was amazing. Yeah. But I've gone with a wild card. And I know people are not going to like it. People are not going to like it.
Well, give everyone give Mike a hate in the comments. Tell him how much you don't like it. Yeah,
tell him. You're not going to like it. But I've gone with Marcus Rashford.
Oh, do you know what? I rate that. I'll Rashi there. Eric Ten Hag coming in, 6.5 million price tag.
6.5 million quid is what did it for me. And I think with the World Cup coming up, he's got something to prove this season. It's like, and I'm not going to be like, it's a make or break season, but I know his numbers of the past have not been that great. But for 6.5 million, I'm not expecting them to be off the scale. I think it's good value for money, and he's got a lot to prove this season. So I think Rashford, yes. It was him or Ward-Prowse for 6.5 million that I was looking at.
No, I like it. Ward-Prowse was in, I think, Todd Cantwell's team as well. Set piece king, arguably the set piece king of the Premier League, really. I don't know if that could it be argued?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He's that good. He's unbelievable.
He's the set piece king, really, isn't he? I mean, I know there's some cracking players, but the free kicks he scores are insane. But yeah, Marcus Rashford, he's shown up before in FPL in previous seasons. He can score well. He used to be a 9 million player, 9.5 million player in FPL. 6.5 million, if you back him to bounce back for the World Cup, can provide great value. So you've went for a couple of United picks there when a lot of people are steering clear, Micah, which is, I don't know if the City contingent will like that, but less said the better, maybe.
But the City players, one, you don't know who's going to start. Yeah. And the other one, they're expensive. You know what I mean? It's too, it's like, I had always City players, no problem, get them in but it's just too expensive. And they don't seem to get bonus points unless you're De Bruyne, like the rest of them. Like, Trent could be having a stinker in terms of visually, watching it. But he might have the most passes, he might have the most attempted crosses, whatever it may be. Next minute, he's top of the bonus points. I'm like, Yeah.
But I like that, let go of all biases, just play the game as it is in front of you. And I like that. So we've got 24 million left to spend on three forwards. So I'll be interested. Who's your cheapest forward?
Yeah, not great, to be honest. I mean, it's a 4.5 million. He's not going to play at all this season. It was basically get as much money as you can for two of my main forwards. I used to play with one up front because I always used to feel like at certain parts of the game, the defenders and midfielders were getting more points. So I believe going forward with this strategy that I'm trying to use, I think I only need two forwards. I might go to a 4-5-1 within the season as well. So I didn't think having a third forward was imperative.
Yeah. This is last slot on the bench, really.
Yeah, so it's Greenwood at Leeds. Another Leeds player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one predicted to get some sort of points. So look, we'll see how that goes. But we're going to go on. You have 19 and a half left in the bank, which tells me that you've gone for, I'm going to guess, don't tell me, but I'm going to guess you've gone for the most. I think you've got Gabriel Jesus, who's the most popular pick in the game. And then you're going to pick one of Haaland or Kane. I don't think that. Call me Inspector Gadget. Call me. I don't know. This man's here. He's doing the maths, crunching the numbers.
Yeah, you know what? You sure you're not accountant? You know what you're doing. You know what.
And this isn't my first rodeo, Mike. I've been on these teams before. So Gabriel Jesus, we'll save the big pick because Haaland and Kane's a big debate. But Gabriel Jesus, he's looked absolutely shit hot in pre-season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's just brilliant, and he's always been brilliant. It's just when he was at Man City, he was behind Aguero. You know what I mean? And it's difficult. And then a lot of the time at Man City would play on the right, sometimes the left. And last season, when he actually got a run up front at the number 9, it was top quality. So I expect him to score goals and 8 million quid as well. I mean, it's literally a steal. I think that he'll be the most picked striker on the game, to be honest. I think he will be, just because of his value.
He's the most picked player in the game at the minute. Yeah, player across the board. Yeah, I had a Salah, I had a Trent. It's over 70% at the time of record, Micah, which is, it's just sort of, it shows the value he presents. He could be, based on what he's done in pre-season and his pedigree, he could be a 10 million plus player, but he's come in at 8 million. So everyone's snapping him up. And the fixtures are great for Arsenal too. If we look over the first sort of 5 game weeks, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa. I mean, he can score in all of them. So Gabriel Jesus, absolutely locked. And I suppose just everyone watching, a quick shout, our handles are on the screen. You can give us a follow on social. And also do not forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to Fantasy Football Hub for all your FPL content. Micah, this is the big debate of the season. Who do we start with, Kane or Haaland? Haaland, the new shiny object. Kane, proven, top on all sorts of charts for stats since Conte's come into the Premier League. Who have you decided to go with?
To be honest, this is what the biggest problem. I've had Kane, Haaland in together with Jesus. I had Kane, Haaland, and Darwin Núñez as well. It's been difficult.
Heartbroken. It's been tough, man. I've seen shit, man.
This is real talk. But Kane has never let me down. I know he started with all the, disciplinary, whatever it was at the start of last season, when whatever happened, potentially leaving and all that stuff. But soon as Kane kicks into gear, my only thought was, Kane normally doesn't score in August, does he? He doesn't normally score in August. So I've changed him more times than not. I think Haaland will score no matter what, even if he doesn't play well.
Even if he doesn't play, he'll get a goal somehow.
even if he comes on for 2 minutes, he'll get a chance to score. Yeah. But I've gone with Harry Kane.
You've gone with Harry Kane. Yeah.
I've gone with Harry Kane. I had to. He's not let me down. He's never let me down on this game ever. So
it's heart and head, isn't it?
Yes.
My heart tells me, my head tells me actually, my head tells me Kane, but my heart says my heart sings when I say Haaland, do you know, because he's new, and the XG and even the game against Liverpool where he's getting ridiculed for, the XG there was something like 1.5, and he did that against Liverpool. So I don't know. I think we could be flip-flopping between these throughout the season. But Micah,
exactly. But let me say, I only think it would have been Haaland and Kane if Jesus didn't have this good of a pre-season. I think everyone was thinking like that. But when Jesus is scoring 2s and 3s and 1s in games in pre-season at £8 million, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
You can't go without him. You just can't. So he takes up a bit of that budget, doesn't he? So, Micah, we've got your 15-man squad built. We're going to pop this into the My Team tool on Hub, and I'm going to tell you your team rating as a percentage. We're going to see your predicted points for game week 1, and we're going to slap you on a table with all the rest and see how you'd get on. Are you hopeful? You think this team will do well?
I mean, I still want to think a little bit, but I'm hopeful it'll do well. Yeah, I'm confident within that team. A lot of different people, a couple of wild cards in there, but yeah, I'm hopeful. Come on, where I come out.
That's it. Oh, yeah. So, Micah, you have achieved a team rating of 91%, which is pretty good. It is definitely pretty good. You're not on the bottom. You're not even a relegation candidate, so don't worry. You're clear. 65 predicted points, 64.8. If I said to you now, Micah, 65 points game week 1, do you take it or do you roll the dice?
No, I roll the dice. I can't even say it was 60. No, I need 70s, 70s game 1. Because
70 has to be.
It's a free hit, 70s minimums.
70s minimums, okay, I like the confidence. So we'll see how you get on in game week 1. And just for reference, on the table now, that puts you in with 91%, just behind FPL Mate, who's one of the biggest FPL content creators we've had on, and just ahead of Todd Cantwell. You're sitting there looking pretty in 14th place out of 18 with just 2 to go. Myself and Will, the CEO of Fantasy Football Hub. So, Micah, thanks a million. I really, really appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you. There's a few wild cards in there, but I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. Thanks for having me, man.
No, thank you. And sure, look, if you ever need any FPL advice, you know where to go, either to me directly or you can go to, probably not to me directly, go to the person who's top of this leaderboard, Big Man McCarr, and you can head over to Fantasy Football Hub. And if anyone else wants to, there's 50% off at the minute, and you can go and get your team rated for free. If you click the link in the description, go to my team, you'll get it all done. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.